Welcome. I'm going to show you basically every location in the solar system in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Obviously, we can't go on the sun, but this is a level that we're pretty close. So that's the sun, and on to the next planet. Okay, we're at some sort of space station that's in between Mercury and the sun. And since it's spinning out of control because of the gravity of the sun, that's why the sun is like that. So in this level, it's like 1 second the surface is just boiling, blazing hot, and you're dead if you stay out there too long. And the next second, it cools down. So you get the idea. I don't know if I can see Mercury from here. Obviously not. Yeah, I don't know if you can find Mercury here in this game because you can't go on. You just go on that space station. But the sun's right there. Mercury's probably somewhere out there. Fun fact though, there was once a theorized planet in between the sun and Mercury, but they never found it and they debunked that it doesn't exist. But that planet was called Vulcan. You can guess why. And also, too, Mercury has extreme temperatures because of what's it called? It spins like crazy around the sun. On to the next planet. All right, this one's really cool because we're actually in the planet. This is a planet called Venus, and it's the hottest planet in the solar system. Metal melts on it. If we stay here too long, we're dead. And it has one of the most toxic atmospheres on the solar system. And I think the temperatures reach like, I don't know if it's 700 degrees Fahrenheit or 800 or 600. It's one of those, but it's high enough to melt metal. The Soviets landed an actual drone here and they took pictures, but that drone melted. So you can guess the result. So basically, Venus's atmosphere is basically the effects of global warming on an extreme scale that makes it uninhabitable. And since the carbon dioxide, I think, is so extreme, that is why the planet has this yellow-ish look in the atmosphere. And also, it's probably the brightest object in the sky, in the night sky, that is not a star. That's why they used to think the thing was a star, I think. But yeah, it has weather and an atmosphere and everything. But we can't live here because we'll die. That's why we want to go to Mars and not Venus. Because it's extremely hot and we can't breathe here. On to the next planet. Alright, we're on Earth. We're in Geneva, Belgium. And we're gonna go into space around Earth. So you can see the Earth from space. Personally, I enjoy the space battles in this game. They're really fun. And we're gonna jump to space. Let's go. Check out the speed on the right side of the screen. Basically, okay, so basically the story of Infinite Warfare is basically Earth colonizes other planets, Mars goes rogue over resources, and then they attack Earth and they want to erase us. So that simplifies it without spoilers. Okay, come on, I want to see our planet from space. There's the sun. Where's the moon? The moon's right there. There's the enemy Martian fleet called the SDF, Settlement Defense Front. And there's Earth. Is that North America? No, I don't know if that's North America. Actually, no, that's Italy. That's Italy, sorry. Because you can tell because it looks like a boot. But yeah, that's basically Earth in Infinite Warfare. Now on to the next one. Alright, now we're on the moon. Welcome Apollo. And look what they did to it. Space bases. Let's see if you can see Earth from here. Sun. There's the Earth. And here's the moon. Let's get a look at those craters. I don't want to see bases because we already know space base. Get out of here. Come on. There's your lunar surface. With the whole craters and crap. And that's the moon. Now we're going to go to the next planet. Alright, now we're on flying above Mars now. So I'm going to divide Mars into two parts. One on the surface and one in space. So obviously we're in space. And I know what you guys are thinking. Doom. And Halo. But mostly Doom because Doom is set on Mars. So you can see the cities, stuff like that. There's a space elevator on Mars, I think. Kind of like Halo. Biggest planet, I think. Not biggest planet, I'm sorry. Biggest mountain and volcano in the solar system's called Olympus Mons. That's also the name of the enemy flagship, which is commanded by Admiral Koch, I think that's his name. He's the Jon Snow. He's Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. But yeah, this is Mars from the space. I'm sorry. And Mars has two moons, Phobos and Deimos. One of them, fun fact, one of them in several millions of years is going to get too close to Mars and it's going to break apart and it's going to become rings. So Mars in several millions of years, I think, is going to have rings. But yeah, there's your red planet. So now we're going to go on the surface. Alright, now we're on Mars. As you can see, reddish surface and stuff. We can't find Olympus Mons, the whole, what's it called, the tallest peak in the solar system. But there's a space elevator right here. Obviously, if you played Doom 2016, you can see the red soil and stuff. So this is Mars, and we're fighting the SDF on their home front. And we got orbital strikes. Mars Saturn. Next planet. Alright, we're in the asteroid belt and we're looking for Jupiter. Jupiter's right here. There you go. And its moon that's covered with snow called Europa is right there. But yeah, you can see the big red spot. That thing's the size of 3 Earths. And Jupiter has rings itself. And there are some stars in the galaxy that are actually smaller than Jupiter. So you take that for what you will. And Jupiter, I think, has the mass of 1/10 of the sun. So, yeah. And Jupiter protects Earth with its strong gravitational pull from these asteroids. So we don't have to deal with stuff like what the dinos had to. On to the next planet. Alright, now we're on Jupiter's moon called Europa. Obviously it's an ice moon. I think that's Jupiter right there. Yeah, because you can see the big red spot. Or there's that, but that's Jupiter. So imagine that from the Earth's view if we were living here. So since this place is like ice and snow, imagine if there's like water, liquid water underneath this stuff. I'll let you be the judge of that. But yeah, on to the next planet. Alright, since Saturn's a gas giant and there's no missions there to fly overhead, we're on its moon called Titan. It's a big moon and it has an actual atmosphere. You can see Saturn's right here. So that's how Saturn's going to look from the surface of Titan. It's raining here, so we got water, weather, and stuff like that. But Titan is an interesting topic as far as astronomy goes, because since it has an atmosphere, they're thinking it could be a good candidate for, what's it called, space travel, space colonization beyond Mars. So, yeah, such a shame we won't live to see that, but yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up doing landing operations or something, kind of like how we have a Mars rover, but on Titan. So, that's why I can't get you a Saturn part. So, there's Saturn for you. On to the next planet. Alright, now we're on the we're hunting the planet called Uranus, or however you want to call it. That's not it. I don't know what planet that is, but that's not it because it looks like that could be a moon. But I definitely think it's that one because it looks cloudy and stuff and it's tilted. Uranus has its rings on its side, so that's what makes it unique. And also, its orbit, I think, is weird or something like that. And a funny thing, though, is that yes, it was determined as a planet in like the 1800s, but the ancient Greeks and I know the ancient Romans, they knew about it, but they miscategorized it as a star. So they had no idea what they were looking at was an actual planet. So that might actually be the farthest planet we could actually see with the human eye. I don't know how they did it, if they had some sort of telescope or something, but that's as far as you can see. Because Neptune, you can't see Neptune, I don't think, from the night sky. So on to the next planet. Alright, we're at zero gravity again, and now we are looking at Neptune. Fun fact, it has the most violent windstorms in the solar system, and I think they're like 700 miles per hour or something like that. And it'll rip you to shreds if you get on the atmosphere, and it also rains actual diamonds on that planet. So, it has rings, as you can see right there. Its largest moon is called Tridon, which is, I don't know if they meant it as Neptune's son in mythology, or if that was like a rewording of the word trident, the weapon that Neptune uses. But yeah, and it's freezing over there. And I think the only thing that actually has passed by it space-wise has been the Voyager drones. I'm not sure. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about that. But yeah, those passed by I think in the 70s or the 80s or something. But yeah, we can't live on Neptune, but we could probably colonize one of its moons. On to the final so-called planets slash dwarf planet. This is the last official planet from the science-wise, but I forget what state in the US says that Pluto's still the ninth planet. But officially, it's 8 planets. Zero gravity again. This is our last planet, moon, whatever. That is Pluto. And there's the sun. So, that used to be the ninth planet until they called it a dwarf planet, which a dwarf planet is something like Ceres, Eris, and other stuff. And Eris was supposedly planet X, but because it's farther away than Pluto is, but since it's bigger than Pluto and is dumbed down to a dwarf planet, Pluto is also considered a dwarf planet, except one US state considers it still the ninth planet. I forget which one it is. To me, it's a dwarf planet. So the final planet starts with Neptune. So this is the only dwarf planet I think you can visit in the game. And that is all that concludes our solar system tour in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Thank you for watching and enjoy your playthrough.